This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yeah. You gotta work. You gotta work, grind, shine, it's mine. Gotta show everybody it's my time. Getting here, you gotta work, grind, shine. Never mind who talking down, cause they lying. Don't talk, you gotta work.
Welcome to Let's Talk with Carl Lee. Let's Talk is proudly presented by attorney Frank Walker. Real talk, real experience, real results. FrankWalkerLaw.com. Let the conversation begin on Let's Talk.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Carl Lee with Let's Talk, and I have my two co-hosts in the building, Hollis Lewis.
Hello.
And Miss Lisa Otey,
Hello.
the football queen. So I'll say this. This has been one of the more interesting setting up the show. This show was this was a little bit different. It was a little challenging because there were, I think in all reality, there's like a lot of stuff. Whether there's
this
stuff
time of year.
Yeah, and I know, Hollis, you were concerned about some stuff that was like how far back and all of that, but it's like it's so still like it's good stuff, and like should we be hitting it or not? You know, that's always the kind of question. But we got it worked out.
We think we do.
We think
anyway.
we do it. We think we do.
In our minds.
Yeah, I mean, this time of the year, it's just like it's literally like, you know, you have WNBA still going on. You have football, college football. There's a great boxing event this weekend. It's baseball still. It's just so much going on sports wise.
And again, too,
high school sports.
I was going to say high school.
sports.
You got high school football going and
Youth league.
Youth league. And there's always something to say about youth league, that's for sure. But I guess we're going to open with our major colleges in the state, Marshall and WVU.
Yep.
Does anybody want to like say?
We'll let Lisa, because she went to the game, so give us your perspective.
That game. Well, I'll tell you, it was something to watch. So I'll just give a recap of the score and everything. But of course, unless you live under a rock in West Virginia, you know that the Mountaineers lost in Athens to OU 17-10. You know, it was just a bad outing. I don't know how else to describe it in week 2, you know, against the Bobcats. They pretty much could, you know, it's their first regular season loss to a group of 6 teams since 2008. Okay, let that sink in. All right. It's also their first away game under Rich Rod's helm. So that's also concerning. You know, overall, it's a bad loss, but if you look at Ohio University, they are not horrible. Last year, they won the MAC championship, which I was not aware of in 2024, that they were the MAC champions. And also, they have a quarterback that he's good. Like, he's legitimately, he can play some different places. You know, some of the fans even told me that you know, we tailgated with OU fans. He drives a Lamborghini at Ohio U in Athens, Ohio. Okay,
he got recruited to be in a transfer portal, and they were trying to get him in other places, but he turned them down to stay in Athens.
Well,
and I'll say this too. Like, I think that, you know, offensively, WVU, they just couldn't get anything going. He threw 3 interceptions. Some of those interceptions were at critical times, and WVU just could not. I mean, WVU had field position at times. They couldn't get anything going. But let me ask you this, because, again, we've seen like this is week 2 of college football approaching week 3, and we've seen like those big games coming out the chute, right? The Texas, Ohio, you had those Notre Dame, Miami games. Do you think it was to WVU's disadvantage to open up with Robert Morris and then Ohio? Should they have started a little bit stronger, and then when you can't win or lose that game, and then when you come to a team like Ohio, you're kind of set and you're ready to go?
And that's a really interesting thought process. But for whatever reason, a lot of teams like that opening with a team that either you're paying them to come and take that L, and you're thinking that you're supposed to win that game.
But 2 weeks in a row, you had two.
Yes, I don't know. What I don't understand is,
you see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
what I don't understand is, was this a situation where you thought you needed two of those, I'm going to call them money games, to get yourself situated with a new offense, with a new defense,
with new players,
with new players,
and
the whole thing?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, maybe the thinking was we needed let's go 2 weeks out, play some non-relevant teams and win those and just get a tune-up. It's kind of like a scrimmage.
I think it hurts you because ultimately, again, the major disadvantage I think a lot of college coaches are facing with essentially, and we could talk about Marshall in a minute, where you essentially have a whole new team, yes. Right? So I'm sure Rich Rod brought some of his guys from Jacksonville and maybe other places he even coaches, but you don't know as far as the players you got all these transfers coming in, so you have to build that continuity. So I understand the thought process of maybe going out there and scheduling a few games up front that you should win, but at that same time, it's always that worry about your guys playing down as opposed to playing up. And I think one of those games, you got to go ahead and just schedule the dog and just see what you got.
And you know what? It's funny that you say that, when you start, because sometimes you're not ready yet. Like mentally, you're not really ready sometimes to actually understand what it's like to jump out there and play. You're looking at this team on film and you're looking at them and you're saying, "Oh man, we got them." And then all of a sudden, they're looking at your film and they're thinking because they don't really have no true film of that team to watch. So all you could do is watch Rich Rod's games from wherever he coaches.
That's true.
Before.
Yeah, that's true.
And so you just all of a sudden.
That's even more concerning that they came out. And,
that's actually true. That's even more concerning. Yeah.
I mean, that they could come out and pull off a win like that. And in some of the pressers, Rich Rod said he was disappointed, not discouraged. However, there's some things to be discouraged about. First of all, you lose two starters on your offensive front. They lost their running back, their starting running back, and their wide receiver. Okay, that's two
for the season.
For the season, yes.
Yeah.
And the other thing is the defense. They played well to a point, but you're playing a MAC team, and by the fourth quarter, you're tired. They couldn't keep that fourth quarter got out of their hands. They couldn't finish what they started, in my opinion.
But I don't know. I'll give the defense a break because to me it was just offensively. Defense got you 3 picks. And you got to give me something.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
True.
And to your point,
you got to give me something.
That's true.
If I got to be on the field all day and you and
we ain't moving the ball,
you 3 and out every other time, there's a place for me to get tired.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I think, but I say to Rich Rod's point, heck, if WVU go 0-3, so they can, not 0-3, but 1-2, even if they lose to Pittsburgh this weekend, if they win the Big 12, they can still find themselves in the college playoffs. So, all is not lost. All they have to do is win the conference.
But let me ask this question.
I'm saying it's easy.
Okay, I'm gonna roll with you on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so they can pull that off.
They could possibly.
If they do that and they lose first game out in playoffs, they're out. How are people going to feel?
They'd be elated.
Because you got to the playoffs?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I don't care.
Huge.
I'm with Hollis. I'm Team Hollis.
My question is, you got 2 losses.
Yeah. One a bad loss.
And one really a bad loss. And I'm just saying, if you stumble your way in, and then because here's the thing. I think, this is just me, I think college football State of West Virginia, Marshall, WVU, they want wins. They don't want to just get in. Now, they'll settle getting in if you get in, but, man, they want wins.
I think at this point, I think at this point, if we got in there, that would be a miracle, and the fans would appreciate
100%.
it and be elated. I mean,
100%.
I seriously.
If WVU,
I think if they go to a bowl, the fans are going to be happy. The fans.
I think they'll be
this year,
depending
for the
on the
first
bowl.
year.
Depending on the bowl.
I think any bowl.
But I think if you got into the playoffs, bruh, that's
playoffs.
So
that's a championship. That's a win.
Playoffs.
And the thing is, to even have consideration at this point, not only would you end up in the playoffs, but that means you have to win the Big 12. So that means you got a Big 12 championship and a playoff.
That's right.
You're good. You're so that would cement Rich Rod's legacy forever.
You're kind of in dreamland here,
forever.
though.
Forever.
Do you think that's possible, though? Really?
I mean, it's
with
highly
two starters on your offense. You have
Done
a
for the
quarterback
season.
that's questionable.
Yeah, I would.
I
agree
mean,
with you, there.
the offense. I mean, we're in the second game of the season. We've got injuries, and they're headed to. They're going to go into the backyard brawl, beat up.
Yeah.
Without really a good offense.
I don't think it's. I think it's possible. Is it likely?
Probable.
Probably
no. Yeah.
not.
Possible,
I mean,
yes. Probable
and
not.
I think
I'm with you.
that's the thing with the new college setup, right? So 10, 15 years ago, you lose that game to Ohio University, season's done, and it's over. We're not even you're just playing for a decent bowl game.
Right.
But now you actually have a legitimate shot to be in a national
Depending
championship
on what
picture.
conference you're in.
So they in the Big 12. They could. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win it, but I'm saying they ain't out of it. I'll say that.
Okay.
If
I'll take it.
If they lose again, let's say this coming week.
That don't matter.
No, if he's right. If
It
they
don't
win
matter.
the Big 12, they're in.
It don't matter if you lose
Whoever
the
wins
pit.
the Big 12 is in. Doesn't matter.
Okay, but you got
Big 12 ain't in the pit. I mean, excuse me, the pit's not in the Big 12.
Right.
So it don't matter.
I'm trying to figure. Okay, I understand that. Yeah. But if you are 0-3 into
1-2, what have been 1-2?
Well, yes, okay. So, and you're a player in today's mindset. Are you already looking?
I don't know. Well,
I think you're already looking. If you a star, you already looking.
But I'm saying, but okay, if you're wanting, let's say
Right now.
Yes.
let's say you're 1-2, and then you go into conference play and you win like the first 2 games within conference play. So that means you 2-0 in the conference. I think that's
You
like
stick
all right,
around.
okay, we got something here. Let's roll. Let's go.
No, I don't think that. I'm thinking it's like, okay, let me see.
Maybe. I mean,
I don't think that
I'm
we
with you,
got
man.
it. You know,
I'm
but
saying we got something. I'm saying we can maybe do a little something here.
I can stay. I can think I can stay here again, but I still need to see. Again, if you turn around and lose the following week after that, I'm thinking you're starting to lose the players that believe in their mind that they're great players because it's too easy now.
Other teams are going to look at that, like the defensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got people looking in saying, well, that defense isn't too bad. Let's just check out some of these individual players. We may need them next year to fill some gaps.
Because all I need one defensive lineman. They got one that could fit right now.
I mean, I understand that, but I'm just saying optimistically, and I think just the way college football has changed is that it's just, even with that loss, it's just not over.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
It may be over for, like, we'll talk about Marshall. It's probably over for Marshall at this point, but it's not over for WVU. Yeah.
Because of the conference there.
Because of the conference
The Sun
there.
Belt, yeah.
And they play, the lower division. They're not in the Power 4, I'll say.
Speaking of Marshall.
Of Marshall.
Let's go there, okay? I mean, it was a tough weekend for West Virginia, football fans. Yeah, it was. But you want me to set it up a little bit here? Okay, so we all know, here's another one. Marshall's 0-2 under the Tony Gibson era. Missouri State defeated the Herd 21-30. Or 21-20, I'm sorry. And it was one of those gut kick losses. You know what I'm saying? You're up with 2-5. I think it was like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and somehow they rally and with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter, their quarterback gets a big screen pass, and then later they intercept quarterback Turner, and that was it. I was looking at the team stats, and I'll quickly go through them, and then you guys tell me what you think. The stats usually tell the story, right? So real quick, I'll go through MSU's and Marshall's stats, but passing yards, Marshall had 380, MSU had 388. Marshall had 83. Ugh, right there,
that's
right?
Passing yards or total yards?
Passing yards.
Wow.
That's an issue.
Yeah. Total yards, MSU had 474. Marshall had 274. So it was still a difference, but the passing yards was unbelievable. Rushing yards weren't. They were a little better, but MSU had 86. Marshall had 191. Penalties were about the same. I won't go through all the others. Also, time of possession was pretty equal. Like MSU had 34-25. But that pass and rush.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's huge, right?
And I think that goes to a team like Marshall when you have the lack of continuity, because when you have a lack of continuity and when you had the massive turnover that they had, to your point, that reflects directly in the passing game because you don't have the timing, you don't have the just the time itself to work with quarterback receiver, and that's kind of the hardest thing to build, far as even quarterback to receiver, offensive line to quarterback. So it's difficult to build that. So when you have that lack of continuity, because I think a lot of games are going to come down to who has more continuity. And when you look at a team like Missouri State, which was a lower level team that Marshall should have beat, probably a money game for Marshall.
It was a money game.
They probably had without knowing all the details, they probably had a little bit more continuity in the guys that they brought back, and they were able to overcome that, maybe the difference in conference or whatever.
And I think what we're saying here, too, is the fact that you have so many players leave, so many new players coming in.
And nobody got hit like Marshall.
Nobody.
Nobody in
the
country got hit like Marshall.
I give you that. And not defending them, but now you're bringing in guys, and can Camp build continuity from all these different guys? And
but I would say not this version of Camp. Maybe if you had the old school 2-a-days, were you there for a month, 30 days? Maybe.
Yes.
But not this version.
Because again, the personalities of players today is more individualized, I think, than it's ever been. I'm on the team. I want to be good. I want to be as good as I can possibly be, which is always a good positive thing. But that has to fit inside of the team. And
there's money tied to it.
And there's money tied to it now.
Not just scholarship money.
Not just scholarship money.
Right.
And I think that's a separation that keeps me from you, from connecting with you and saying, come on, man, let's go out there and work. I don't care if you work or not. I'm trying to get my money. And I think it really, really, truly hurts the bond that a team can have.
Yeah. And let me ask the reverse question. So we talked about a team like WVU kind of scheduling lower grade games, the first two games. Do you think it hurt Marshall scheduling that Ohio State game when you have that lack of continuity? Should they have walked in with a way even like a Division II opponent just to get kind of warmed up and then gone maybe slowly into conference play?
You mean Georgia, right?
What's that?
Georgia.
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's
Georgia.
okay. Georgia.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you would think that it could go both ways, like what you said earlier. Sometimes with them playing Georgia, they were never in that game. I think there has to be a level of competition that you consider. Maybe not Georgia, maybe a team that's a little above you, like maybe a Virginia Tech, a more manageable team, that you possibly could hang with.
Well, I'm saying in light of because they had the mass exodus. Do you? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying in light of that.
Well, I don't think they could foresee that, right? Don't they set the schedule so far ahead that
Yeah,
they really?
they may have had that schedule. They may have already had it.
But I'm just like, bro, I need to cancel this.
Yeah.
Hey, last January, look, man, I'm looking at that schedule. Like, look, we ain't gonna be able to make that.
Because to your point, Hollis, you had at least from January coming in.
Yeah.
But then they have to fill that spot, which is hard at one short notice, right? I guess they could pick up a team like a Missouri State. I
could pay a team to come
I could
play.
pay a team. That's what I'm about to say. I could pay a Charleston Southern. I could pay somebody else.
We played Marshall, West Virginia State.
A Hampton, a Grambling. I could pay somebody.
Yeah.
So I that's just
anybody that you call and say we're going to pay you this amount of money, they're coming.
Somebody, and I guess my point is just saying, when considering all the transfer stuff and when you're scheduling games, do you have to consider that now?
Are you allowed to cancel? Is there a certain time frame that
really
you're
know
not
the rules
allowed?
on
Like
that.
once
I'm
it's
not
set,
sure.
I don't know.
I'm not
that
sure.
would be good to know, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a rule or not, but I think
I know,
you've
like
seen
Alabama,
you've seen
just
it
canceled
happen.
their game with WVU, but it's for 2026.
Exactly. That's what
So
I'm
it's a
saying.
year
There's
ahead.
time for them to fill spots.
I would have been more than willing to push that ahead.
But I'm just saying, like, I would have guessed under these extenuating circumstances, if I'm Marshall, if I'm the AD and I'm looking at this and I'm saying, dang, I'm going to get basically a whole new 52, 72-man roster.
Maybe the check was too good.
Maybe you might be right.
I mean, they need money.
But I'll say
right.
this.
But dang,
There's
man,
no
what's the cost of that?
There's no amount of money that can save your team. Because in losses like this, you can lose that team.
That's from a
future.
That's from a player's and a coach's view. It's not from the AD's view that has a budget.
That may be true too. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying they have a program to run and they have to have funds to do it properly.
I've got your info here on the cancellation policy.
Okay.
Please, thank you.
Okay, so there's no single unified schedule cancellation policy for the NCAA, so it depends on the conference that you're in and the schools. And a lot of times on those 1-for-1s or whatever, it's all built into the contract.
Okay. But I'm guessing within that contract, it has to be something where extenuating circumstances. It has to be an out in that. And to your point, Lisa, again, from an AD's perspective, from a university perspective, like, well, we need that money to, carry not only the football team, but, other programs.
Right. But if I'm also the coach who said it, okay, I'm probably not thinking that I got to get out of it, but I still think I got a chance to earn it. My team can get a little bit better. Hopefully we won't get anybody hurt. All of those kind of things.
Yeah, I just have a hard time thinking like you're going to get better and you got a whole new coaching staff and whole new team.
Marshall has that mentality of winning that they are known to go on the road and be able to hang with teams. We know that.
True.
Notre Dame, they've beaten them. They went to Clemson, Virginia Tech. I mean, they're known to be able to go in there and pull off victories. And so maybe they were thinking, some of that magic may still be around, but
that ain't the SEC. The SEC.
It's not the SEC. Amen.
Yeah. When I was at State, we played Marshall. And my, of course, and Coach Bob Pruitt was the coach. There was no way that I even had to think about him running the score up. Now, he couldn't save us if we couldn't tackle or couldn't cover the receivers if they threw the ball.
But he's not going to keep the first string in.
He's not going to keep that team in.
Right.
If you don't have that kind of a setup, and you're the bottom end of the team, the team that's getting the money. I'm not sure like these games can ruin your season.
Well, I think, like I said, I think they're worth it, and I think it's good that this, because it's almost like a revenue share within college sports.
Sure.
So I don't mind it. I'm just saying, like, I think now it's a different thought process. Not only you thinking about the safety of your team and all that other stuff, but you're also thinking about, dang, man, I got 30 new dudes here.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And new coach.
You know what I'm saying?
Staff.
And I got a new coaching staff. So I think those things have to be considered now, in addition to everything you just said as far as your relationship with the coach and all these different other things.
Yeah, I think
Do you think that the beatdown in Georgia, I'm sure it did, it had a toll on their mental framework going into this game? Even it's a game they should have won. This team this is their first year in Conference USA, but they're coming from Division I. Okay, that's what they were.
Right.
Division 1 or 2?
Division I.
Okay, they Division 1.
Division I, FCS, right?
Oh, FCS. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, FCS. But that's a step below.
Yeah.
At least a step below the Sun Belt. Am I not
Yeah.
correct?
No, you're 100% correct. Yeah.
So I don't know. And for the fans that go down there and pay the money to see this, brand new, hoping that with the money game they could at least pull a victory out against this team. Isn't it going to be hard to pull those fans back for this coming weekend for another? I mean, I don't think they're in Sun Belt. I didn't look to see who their opponent is, but I'm pretty sure they're not in Sun Belt play yet. But
I think you've got a couple of weeks. You've got a couple of weeks, I think, to
before fans start to just say no.
Yeah. Now they're going to talk all through this time.
I think this loss is worse than WVU's loss.
Yes.
Think so?
Yes, I do too.
You don't?
No.
That team won the MAC. OU won the MAC last year.
But,
I mean, that's.
But I say that quarter. But you threw 3 interceptions. You tried to give that game back to WVU.
Well, I'm just saying the respect part, like the opponent.
But I'm saying I think Marshall fans, you got to get his coach and his team a mulligan. You got a whole new squad. This year don't even count. If y'all win 5-4 games, good. You know what I'm saying? You got to give a little bit of break.
I don't know if the new Marshall fans even understand that reality, because that's not what we do. You know what I'm saying? We win. We play for bowl games. We play for championships,
especially after last year winning the Sun Belt. But and that's another thing. The uninformed fan doesn't realize how devastating it was after the Sun Belt Conference Championship when the whole team left with Huff.
Yes,
I don't think the uninformed fan realizes what that did to that program. It's years of damage.
Some realize,
to me,
some may realize, but they're not cutting you no break.
I think you got to cut this team a break. You have to cut Marshall. You have to, man. It's just like I said, you got a whole new team, a whole new coaching staff. You couldn't even field a team for the bowl game.
Exactly.
After you won a conference championship.
It's almost, and I hate to even compare it, but it's almost like the plane crash kind of situation. They did not have enough players to play a game.
Yeah, man. I would say this year and maybe even next year is a wash. Whatever you can do it. But we ain't going to hold it against you. So I think
you think that's the fan. You think that's the fan?
I think that's a fan because again, it's not like
I would hope
this stuff is hidden. It's not like this was out. This was like, dang, the whole team left.
Yeah.
And you had a really, really good team. You had a really good quarterback. You got players in the NFL that coached that was on that team last year. So you had legit dudes who are now playing in the NFL and now playing at in the Sun Belt, which so I just think this year's a wash, at least this year.
I think it is, but reality is the fans expect it.
Yeah, what other
to be different?
I'm really wondering what the expectation is truly for the legitimate diehard fan.
That's a good question
for both teams, really.
For both teams.
For the Mountaineers. I mean, I don't know. You can't be delusional about what both programs are going through at their own levels, in their own conferences.
I would say, man, just if you can get to about 500 as Marshall, that's a good win. If you can get to a bowl game for WVU, that's a win.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But to that, the only people who have to understand that is the fan base, because the team's not thinking that. The coach can't. He ain't thinking that.
Say that.
Yeah, you can't say that. You know what I'm saying?
I think with both being like with Rich Rod being at WVU in the past, and Tony Gibson being a native of West Virginia, maybe the fans won't put them in the hot seat as quickly.
But you can't.
They have personal
after
ties.
A year.
I don't.
You think after a year?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think
that
after.
Is tough.
I can see it. I can
see
the.
I can see them doing Rich Rod like that.
I can see it also. I can see them doing Tony Gibson
I
that
can't
way
see
too.
him doing it Huntington. That's That's wild. After a year?
I wish I could agree with you.
Dang,
But I think
man,
I think
I'm
Marshall.
Team Carl on this
y'all
one.
tough on this one.
I just think that
that's not my
Marshall's
personal
fan
opinion.
base, Marshall's fan base.
I don't think they belong there.
I think are not patient. I don't think they're willing to be, or think that they have to be patient to wait.
I don't see how you got a choice. It's like one of them situations you don't want to wait, but you ain't got a choice.
You ain't got a choice. But
Yeah.
It's
but
like
can,
we don't got no
can
dudes.
we show up? Will they show up?
Yeah, I mean, this man ain't even
It's
got
a
the
vicious
opportunity.
cycle.
He's not even had a chance to recruit. You're right.
This is, I mean, again, transfer portal gives you the opportunity, but like I said, you can have a collection of talent, but just you having a collection of talent doesn't mean you have a team.
Okay,
you know?
so if you're Marshall, are you in the portal or
You got to be
you
in that
got to
portal.
be in the portal? You can't
gotta
be in the high
portal.
school unless you can go get one of the top
And you
guys
can't.
at each position, which I don't think you can.
I think you got to assess what you got, and I think in the portal, I think in the portal you got to be strategic. So in the portal, you need to get your offensive line, your defensive line, foundational set if it's not already, and you got to get some dogs, and then you got to get a couple high school kids, so that way you can start to build for the next 2 and 3 years. So I think you got to do a little bit of both if you Marshall. You
See,
know?
I would guessing I would go all out for now if I could, unless there was a really super
Let's Talk
great
with Carl Lee
high school
is
player
presented by
that could
attorney
play
Frank
right out
Walker.
that
of
could
high
play
Real
out of
talk,
high school,
real experience,
that is
real
willing to
results.
come. If not,
FrankWalkerLaw.com.
I'm going to go
Comment
ahead
on
and
episodes
bring in
or
everybody
suggest topics
that I
at
can
our
from
Facebook
wherever I
page.
can get them from.
Search for
And
Let's
then
Talk with Carl
going
Lee.
forward,
And remember to
now,
like the
at
page to
some
become
point
part of the
time,
conversation.
Year, now I can go out and try to get some, maybe a couple high school guys, maybe some JUCO guys, just some guys that I think I can build from.
And the sad part of this is, guys,
tough,
this
man.
is the sad part. It's going to be an eternal battle
Yes.
for these coaches.
Yes.
Because if you get any decent players and you start winning, guess what happens?
Yeah, they get fished out. And see,
Yeah.
this was my point when we talked about this last year or earlier this year. Why in the world, just thinking, why do you get rid of Huff? You know what I'm saying? Again, unless he wanted to leave, that's something different. But what I'm saying is that if it just came down to a contract dispute and you have a guy who's getting the transfer kids, but he's also getting kids from West Virginia, and he's getting kids from the area, and he's also winning you championships, and he's also pitting guys in the NFL. He had a record, because if nothing, to your point, Lisa,
Right.
we may not be able to pay you a whole bunch now, but look at my record. I got umpteen guys in the NFL, and if you listen to us and if you follow the program, you can be there too. So it's a selling point where you can win games, you can and be in the NFL, you could possibly get a little money in your pocket. So I just think we set ourselves back. I'm not saying that Gibson's not a great coach, but I think that we're going to have to allow him 2, 3, maybe even 4 seasons to turn this around.
Are they going to be? I question the patience of an athletic director to say 3, 4 years. I think that there's.
Unfortunately, I
Yes.
mean, I think in this day and age, that's what's fair. But whether it happens or not is a whole different story. Because when you don't sell tickets, you got to make changes. That's just the way it is. If you're not filling those seats in the stadium and you're not bringing in fans, changes happen. It's not fair. It's just the way it works.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Well, let's go take a quick break, and then we'll come right back.
Yeah. You gotta work. You gotta work, grind, shine, it's mine. Gotta show everybody it's my time. Getting here, you gotta work, grind, shine. Never mind who talking down, cause they lying. Don't talk, you gotta work.
Welcome to Let's Talk with Carl Lee. Let's Talk is proudly presented by attorney Frank Walker. Real talk, real experience, real results. FrankWalkerLaw.com. Let the conversation begin on Let's Talk.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're gonna switch to a kind of I'm gonna call it a crazy topic. Okay. You when you see sports today, in most cases, or let's say back in the day,
Back in the day,
there was respect for me to Hollis as an opponent.
Mm-hmm.
You shook hands. You done all these kind of things, and I know that they still do it. I know in youth football we shake the coaches' hands and the players' hands. Sportsmanship. I don't think ever in my entire football career have I ever thought or could think that another player would spit on me. Down on the ground, there's all kinds of stuff happens down at the bottom. When you're at the bottom of the pile, there's somebody maybe might throw a little blow at you. But
Spitgate.
But
you're going to Spitgate.
I'm going to Spitgate. Yes. Come
Hollis,
on.
what's your take on it?
Well, I mean, I think the weird thing about it is, because I have seen it. There was an incident years ago with Bill Romanowski.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think when he played for the Raiders and he spit on a Denver Broncos receiver, I can't remember the name. But it was sort of like in the heat of the battle, right? The game was already commencing, and they were, jawing, and things might have happened within the context of the game.
Mm-hmm.
This situation is unique in that the game ain't even started yet. Like, you just walked up to the dude and spit on him. Like, I just found it was just it was so strange that happened, that you would do that. And the referee was right there.
Yeah.
Like, what happened before that? Did y'all get into it before the game?
Did you see the whole video of? I know right when it happened, the only part of the video they really showed was the actual incident where he spit on Doc, right? Yeah. But then if you roll the tape back a little bit, I think some different sports outlets had put the complete video out. Of course, there was trash talking. Doc was pretty far away. But I guess they were, like you said, jawing at each other. And then Dak spit toward him and said something and smiled, like this smirk on his face. Like you could see in the video, he said something that he knew provoked him. He provoked him.
Wow,
okay. So, but it wasn't close to him. It was like 12 feet away. So he had no intention. He had the intention of inciting him to do something irrational.
So you feel like he thought maybe Dak's spit at him or tried to spit on him?
I think that was the impression he got. He was probably hyped up to play ball or whatever, and then he actually followed through and spit on him, which that's no excuse. You've got to be able to handle that situation. So in fact, I think the NFL commissioner even came out and said, that they recognize that Dak did do some things to provoke him, but he doesn't receive any discipline for it because it's non-punishable. What he did was non-punishable.
And they're only going to suspend the I forget the gentleman's name, but they're only going to suspend him for the one game that he missed and just fine him whatever salary. Yeah, Carter for the salary that he lost. So it's possible for him not to get suspended any additional games. But I mean, I don't know. What
do you think, Carl? You were in those types of games.
It never ever would it have crossed my mind, nor do I think it would have crossed a player's mind who we could be upset at each other, talking smack with each other. I don't think that was ever would come to my mind. And the fact that this has happened, and let's just say if both players are part of it. So Hollis spit. I thought he was spitting on me. I spit back. I get him. Okay?
Yeah.
He missed me. I get him. We both need to be fined.
Oh,
I think you're fined. Yes, I think you're fined, and you are out of game.
I wonder how long Carter's been in the league.
If not 2 games, for sure 1 game, so that if anybody else sees or thinks that they're going to do that, they know what it's going to cost. If you do basically nothing, then what's going to stop it from happening again?
But that's the whole point. He knows. See, Dak Prescott's been around the league long enough to know what he can get away with. And I wonder how long Carter's been in the league. But he definitely baited him, and he took the bait.
And he took it.
He took
the bait. I don't know. I like I said, I think it's just one of them situations in which if everything you're saying is confirmed and true, then it's kind of like a 1-for-1. Just let it go. But it's also a situation in which Carter, man, just like sack him and throw an elbow at us. You know what I'm saying? Like do something up like that. Don't just
get a 15. Just get a 15.
But I mean, people are human. We seen the situation with Lamar Jackson with the fan, and the fan shoved him.
Yeah, that was
you know
bad.
what I'm saying? And Lamar Jackson shoved him back.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, you're men, you're human, and sometimes you just have like that natural reaction. You
and
know
that
what I mean?
fan's
Not
banned,
everybody-
right? Isn't
he's
that fan
from
banned?
all NFL
Yeah.
and the Bill stuff.
And
so,
rightly so.
And to that point of the banning of the fan who's involved with the player, now it's player on player. What? So you do nothing?
You ain't gonna ban the player for just.
No, I'm not
spitting,
saying
but-
ban him. Just spitting.
I mean, he lost darn near 60 G's, $60,000 a
Yeah.
game check. So I mean, that's enough to deter me. You lose what some people make in a year.
Yeah, but that could be a drop in the bucket for him.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't
That
know.
could be a drop in the bucket for him.
I think anytime anybody loses 60.
I think it's. But again, even with the 60, I think you set a precedent that no one will ever think about crossing again.
Yeah, I feel that.
But let me ask you this. Do you think Dak Prescott was given a pass because of who he is, the starting quarterback of the Cowboys?
I just think the spit ain't land. So
Yeah, yeah.
you got to pass for that. The spit
Yeah,
ain't
there
land.
you go.
Yeah, he didn't put enough behind it to get there. Because I don't know if I'm really thinking that anybody has said or anybody really thinks like he provoked it. You know, I haven't seen anybody saying that he provoked
Seriously?
it. I haven't heard it.
You need to Google it.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen it, Matt? Have you seen the whole video? Oh, my gosh. Okay. Well, maybe I'm the only one.
Yeah.
But they even said in the press conference, like, this guy, this NFL rules analyst said, Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott will not receive discipline for his role in the incident that happened before the game.
Yeah, I think that's why they're going light.
Which makes it sound to me
Like if he had a role in it.
He had a role in it because he was jawing. He was there and jawing, but it doesn't say. Because why don't you say what was his role?
But you ain't gonna say that. It's just not worth saying it because again, nothing landed. So it's just a situation in which, if you're the NFL, you just want to get rid of that.
And they said, according to him, Prescott's actions that may have incited Jalen Carter's decision to spit on him were non-punishable. So in other words,
well, because you don't have a rule.
He didn't touch him. He didn't spit. Well, yeah, they do now, don't they?
Well,
don't they? Their emphasis. Get this. This is how ironic because that was our opening game for NFL. Correct? That was Thursday night.
Yeah.
The emphasis of the NFL in 2025 is sportsmanship, and before they even kick the ball. How ironic is that, right?
Yeah.
But they have rules. I don't know if that's, there's a bunch, but I don't know if that would qualify.
But I mean, other than that, though, I mean, I just thought like this weekend of games were just like these were some of the best opening weekend games that I've ever seen. I mean, when we talk about Ravens, Bills, Minnesota had a good comeback win last night. Jets, Steelers. Like this was, I don't know what's in the water, but generally the first couple of weeks of NFL are blah. But these games were absolutely amazing. You talk about scoring, you talk about comeback victories, you talk about storylines. Aaron Rodgers going back to
the Jets,
and obviously the two competitive best teams in the AFC outside of Kansas City. Bills and Ravens are playing. Obviously the rival between the historical rivalry between the Bears and the Vikings, and all the games were just really, really good.
Do you think the NFL purposely looked at the schedule and said, you know what, we got to hook them right out of the gate,
100%.
and scheduled all of these big games? I mean, they were not normal opening games for the NFL. Normally,
conference games,
right?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think ever we opened the season with a conference
team in conference game.
I like it though. I'm not complaining.
And who you think could be really a good game. You start talking about Bears and Vikings, you're talking a game.
Yeah, and I think even
That's
like
division.
Yeah.
like Tampa Bay. I think did Tampa Bay they played the Falcons.
Yeah.
So it's like the Cincinnati Bengals played the Browns. I think this is the way you start the season. In conference, you started in rivalries, and let's go.
If you
I love
got
it.
like you said, Cincinnati and Cleveland in state, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you got everybody in the state.
The Eagles and Cowboys, like they started
That's
in
huge rivalry.
Kansas City Chargers. They started this
Lions
thing out right.
and Packers.
Lions
I mean,
and Packers.
yeah.
Yes.
Michael Parsons showed up wearing that nice number 1, looking great out there.
I'm over here just glowing as a Packer fan. I mean, I loved it. I mean, I think he has made already 150% impact on the whole team, not just the defense, the whole attitude of the whole team. That offense, Jordan Love plays with confidence, knowing that, hey, if I turn the ball over, I got Micah Parsons on the other side that's going to get it right back for me. And that loosens him up, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. You had Travis Hunter. They said he got like 39 offensive plays, 6 to 10 defensive plays.
Yeah.
And again, Rex Ryan had a comment. He talked about if he was coaching, he would just play him on defense and because you can't build with so many good shutdown cornerbacks and just have them a little package on offense. I agree with that too. I didn't understand him coming out as a receiver, like starting as a receiver and just like being a specialist as far as the defensive. Because I'm thinking if I have somebody that athletic, he's defense for me, and then we'll build you a package on the offensive end.
See, I think if you let him be a corner, I think he becomes a great corner. Forget receiver. He
said forget
receiver.
Forget receiver.
He's gonna catch some balls. He's gonna run some routes. He might get a couple touchdowns, whatever. But I don't know if anybody's going. I would think him being the shutdown guy to everybody that we play. We're putting you on the guy.
Yeah, I don't.
To me, that gets you everything that you need.
Yeah, I just don't think I'm just playing cornerback. If you can do that at a high level, do that.
Yes.
Because it's just not easy to do that in football, particularly in a pass-happy league. Like, if you can play corner at a high level, play corner.
Yeah.
We'll throw you in a swing pass or something. We'll get you a tunnel screen.
Yeah, we don't need you. We don't need – so what if you throw him a bomb, an 80-yard touchdown pass, and, okay, it's a touchdown, you lose the game. What did that really do? He, on the other side, on the defensive side of the ball, at corner, he can shut down. We're going to use him as our shutdown guy against everybody's top receiver.
Or maybe even your number 2
Or
receiver.
maybe even your number 2.
Yeah.
And we can count on him shutting him down.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would just – that's just my opinion. Aaron Rodgers, he looked great.
He did look good.
He looked really good.
And I was the one who
Keep
said
him healthy.
I have to come back. I have to go back and say I was the one who said no.
Me too. I said that too. I was in agreement
He
with
still
you.
got it.
He still look good, man.
Well, let me just say this now. I was wrong once.
Oh, just once.
Just once.
Just once.
That was the only one I was
Bless
wrong
his
on.
heart.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this, just as a player, okay? I can remember my last season, okay? I can remember I felt like I was playing fine early on in the season. And then as the season went on, it took, all of a sudden a play happened and I was like, oh, this is not, maybe I don't have it. And I'm glad that I walked away at the end of the season because I could see stuff and couldn't make it happen. We've seen a lot of players start the season off really great.
It's a long season.
It's a long season. It's a long
Yeah.
season.
We'll see.
And I'm not rooting against him.
No.
And I'm admitting that I was wrong. I didn't think he had that in him.
Me neither. I didn't.
Yeah.
But I think also going to a place like the Steelers helps too because you're going to a foundational, you're going to a steady organization. And I'll also say on the other end of that game, Justin Fields looked great.
Yeah, that was a great offensive performance on both sides.
Good. He looked sharp.
Right.
He was throwing the ball accurate. They just kind of ran out of time. Derrick Henry, gosh, I mean, you talking about like, again, somebody 31, 33, whatever he is, that's old for a running back now.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord.
And still.
I mean, other than the
moves.
fumble, again, that was a tough game for the Ravens. But other than the fumble, I mean, he looked like a man child out there. So it was a great weekend.
I thought it was.
And I don't want to take
enjoyed
anything. I don't want to take anything from him. But because he has that kind of a mindset, you know, there's a ton of players don't have that mindset that's out there. And now when you give him the ball and he's got that type of mindset and he's running into the secondary, we ain't trying to hit him.
Right. I mean, he looked just as fast. He looked just as, I mean, obviously he's just as big. I mean, it's going to be a long, and I think that fumble, that might be the best thing that happened to him this season, because I'm telling you, I doubt he fumbles a ball again all season, and he's going to be running with vengeance.
How heavy is he? Does anybody?
He's about, I want to say 6'2", 6'3". He's about 240-ish, 250-ish. He's in that range, but I mean, you're talking about a guy who runs like a 4.5, 4.4.
Right. That's like an Eric Dickerson type of situation,
but bigger.
But bigger. Yes. Yeah.
And he does that Walter Payton workout where he does like the hills and stuff like that. So he's doing that.
So he's a combination of both of them.
I'm telling you, man.
That's a scary thought.
That's a scary
He's
thought.
not as loose. You know, Walter Payton was loose and he could sort of absorb those hits and bounce. He ain't that, but he can run straight over you.
What do you guys think about the Chiefs being 0-1? They lost to the Chargers. Although I think it was you, Hollis, that said the Chargers could be a sleeper.
Yeah, they're going to be a sleeper because Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. What? I mean, is it too soon to say?
I'm saying
they might be in trouble.
I'm saying it's too soon.
Okay.
But I will also preface that by saying you can only be that team to go to the Super Bowl, the team that beats everybody, only a couple years.
Yeah.
You can't keep hanging on to that.
They have the same players, basically. They haven't lost anybody significant. Why is that?
I don't know.
Other teams figure you out?
I say you played a lot of football.
You played a lot of hard-nosed football.
If you've
every week.
You've been in the Super Bowl for like basically the last or in the Super Bowl hunt for like the last
century?
5-6 years.
Feels like
and you're not playing 17 games. You're playing up to 20, 21, 22 games. And I'm saying I think they're going to be competitive. I don't think they go to the Super Bowl this year. I think it's going to be a bit of a down year, just because, to your point, they played a lot of football. It's going to catch up to you eventually.
Is it going to be the Vikings, Carl?
I really, 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 really wish I could say yes.
They look good. They came
They
back.
did look good.
They did. They
Who's
really
their
did.
quarterback again? What's his name? He's good.
McCarthy.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, now you're talking about a young quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he found a way to lead the team.
He really did. I've seen a lot of young quarterbacks during the time when I was playing with the Vikings that started off great, and for whatever reason, by the time the end of the season, because it's new, 16, 17, 18 games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. You lose the lineman, you know, that you need to help protect you. You get hit a few times. All of a sudden, the game has a way of changing, because you go out and you play a game and you feel like you played it well, and you're like, oh, okay, this is really not, you know, it's not all that.
Right.
Guarantee there's going to come a game that you're going to say, oh my gosh,
and they get the
it
game
is all
plan.
that.
Now they got some tape on you too, so they get the game plan on you too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I don't know, man. It's like I really like the way they show resiliency and came back. And again, that's a conference game, so that kind of gives you the one up.
I think NFC North's going to be tough this year.
Yeah.
When is it not?
It's going to be really
that's
tough
true.
this
Yeah,
year.
when is
But
it
I mean,
not?
really tough this year.
Because what you got,
like
Detroit,
we might have a
Packers,
Super Bowl contender in
Minnesota
that
Bears
division.
Yeah, it's going to be tight.
Whoever wins that, I mean, that's a big win.
And I mean, you could look at any one of those games and say, well, they'll split. They can
That's
split
true.
and win and lose at any one of those games.
Yeah.
You know, and then the question is what is their schedule on the outside?
Right.
Who are they playing?
Yeah, who do they play? What conference are they matched up with? This, You know they do that conference thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be an exciting NFL season. I do. And I really think that it may be two completely different teams in the NFL than what we're used to. I think there's a possibility.
I think people would. I think people. I was going to say. I think people would like that.
People are ready for that.
Yeah, I think so too.
We're tired of the Chiefs and who else has been in
Ravens, yeah, Bills.
All right, so everybody knows.
Although
everybody,
I like the Bills.
Everybody knows. Okay, that I'm the guy who's looking for the Vikings to win. So I know both of you all have your own individual teams. What are you thinking about your teams, Hollis?
I mean,
your team.
And
who to say it out loud? Who it is?
I mean, like I said, I'm rolling with the Bengals, and I always have love for my Niners, but I
get one.
I don't think nothing. But I'd say neither one of them. I don't think it's going to be
either one.
I don't see either one of them really. I think it's going to be blah years. Maybe make the playoffs. Bengals might make the playoffs, but again. Maybe, but I would say, again, because you got to go through Pittsburgh, you got to go through the Ravens. So maybe we don't even make the playoffs. It's going to be tough.
Playoffs.
Yes. And the Niners, they didn't have a great start, but I think Shanahan will find a way to, pull through, and they'll end up making the playoffs. But I don't think they're going to make no noise.
Well, you know who I root for. I mean,
yes,
and now
I do.
I mean, I don't. Are you asking me if my team, the Packers, will make it to the Super Bowl?
No. What do you?
Or
what
do I think they're going to do?
What you think they're going to do? How do you think their season's going to be?
I think they're going to have a good season. I think they're going to win when they're supposed to, and they're going to have a couple losses that they shouldn't lose just because of their youth. I think they'll probably win the division.
Oh, that's big.
Okay.
That's big winning that division.
They've already beat the Lions.
She's cutting her eyes over here too.
I figured I'd get fired again since I get fired every week. So.
I'm putting it in tonight.
But I mean, they've already beat one of their biggest, competitions in the division. Really, the Lions. They were the ones that won last year.
Right. I think Micah Parsons puts them over the top.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think they're going to be really good this year.
As long as they, like I said before, everybody's got to stay healthy, and that's a factor for every team in the NFL or any college level for that matter.
Yep. What about you, them Vikings?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we can have a great offense. I think defensively, I think we can be fine. I think, we've always been able to get out and do okay defensively. But on the offensive side, we needed a solid quarterback. We need
You've got one.
I know. I'm saying we've always needed a solid quarterback. Now, while young, I think there's opportunities for us to run the ball and there's opportunities for us to throw the ball. So I think that gives us an opportunity to be in the hunt.
The runner-up of the NFC North, right?
The runner-up.
No. I actually think that we can win it.
Okay.
The
Write
NFC
this
North.
down.
Yeah,
Matt,
NFC North.
What's on the line here? Do you have to wear my cheese head in studio
Get a picture.
if we win the division? Okay.
Okay.
And then what? Okay, and I'll do whatever. I'll wear a Vikings jersey or something ridiculous.
Yes. We'll get you a jersey.
You got to get the horns of Vikings.
Yeah.
I'll blow the horn.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, anybody anything else? Anything else? We can wrap it up.
I think we've messed things up bad enough.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we will be back again next week.